In the world of vegetables, Brussels sprouts are like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If you boil them, they become flabby and soggy and your kitchen smells like sulfur. Nobody wants that. However, if you roast them quickly at a high temperature, they become sweet and crunchy and nutty. Yes, it's true, if you roast them quickly at a very high temperature, they become more and more delicious. How high a temperature? It's time to turn your oven to 11. Let's get started. One of the essential ingredients in this Brussels sprout salad is the pomegranate. It has these sweet, tart, lovely, ruby, juicy little orbs that go inside the salad, and I can't wait to get to them. But people do often ask me, Nathan, how do you get them out of the pomegranate without making a huge mess? Well, this is the best way that I know. Grab a paring knife and put your thumb pretty close to the edge, about an inch from the edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of cut this top portion out, but not dig too deep, just sort of shallow, okay? And that is a good landing point for the next little action that we have. Okay, that's it. That's all we've done. It's just taken off that top point. And this looks like a little outie belly button, okay? When you're looking at the pomegranate from the top, you can see these ridges. And it's along these ridges we are going to cut using our paring knife, but not cut deeply, not even maybe a 1/16 of an inch, okay? So I'm just going to take it from the top. That looks like more of a nice ridge. And just score the tip of the knife along these ridges from the north pole of the pomegranate to the south pole of the pomegranate. All right? There we go. And what that does, it allows these natural breaks in the pomegranate. Now that it's scored, I'm going to take my thumbs and press them from the center away from me. And what that should do, it should loosen it up along these ridges, these weak points that we've created. Okay. And no mess, nothing to clean up, and just a really simple way of getting to the middle of everything. And that's it. Pretty great. For this recipe, I'm going to pick out about 1/3 cup and then we'll move on. I have my food processor out with the single blade attachment. Okay? This goes in, top goes on. With this pound of Brussels sprouts, all I've done is trim the ends off. Processor's ready to go. I'm going to keep it on, feed the Brussels sprouts through, and I also have a shallot that I've simply taken the skin off and I've cut in half, and that will go through after this, okay? And that's it, Brussels sprouts are done. Now, we move on to the seasoning. What seasoning exactly? Well, let's do a little bit of spice. What spices exactly? Well, I want a little bit of heat, so I have cayenne. I like a floral quality, so some coriander, kosher salt, and black pepper, right? So what I like to do is give it a little mix, and then I'm going to sprinkle it throughout and sort of try to see if I can get as evenly as possible. Give it a quick mix, and then now I'll add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. The reason I didn't add the olive oil first is I didn't want those spices to stick wherever I had put the oil. So about 2 tablespoons. Here we are. Give it a good stir. And to my left, I have a sheet pan covered with some foil, not just for easy cleanup, but also it's just a really high temperature. How high? Well, I'm going all the way to broil. My broiler is about 5.5 inches from where the sheet pan's going to be. And what's going to happen is after about 3.5 minutes, you'll start to see the charring, this beautiful char that's going to happen with the Brussels sprouts. Keep going, don't stop. Go till 5 minutes, you're gonna pull it out, give it a good stir, Put it in for 3 more minutes until it's nicely charred, and then we'll move on to the vinaigrette. While the Brussels sprouts are boiling for the first 5 minutes, we're gonna make a quick vinaigrette. So what do we have? Well, we have apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon. It's gonna brighten everything up. In addition to the apple cider vinegar, we're gonna go fresh lemon. Again, 1 tablespoon. And we're using the same bowl that we mixed the Brussels sprouts in earlier. Why dirty up another one? Also, again, the power of 1. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Sweeten it up. And 1/2 of a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Okay? Such a lovely flavor. Oh, this flavor is so good. And that's it. Whisk this together. And this is a wonderful, flavorful bed for when the Brussels sprouts are ready. Speaking of Brussels sprouts, I should go check on this now. Look at that. It's so beautifully charred. And it did so because we spread it nice and thin, which causes all the water to evaporate very quickly. It smells so good. Let's give it a little more flavor, shall we? And we're putting this directly into the bowl of the vinaigrette we made earlier. Oh man, this is so great. And it's also a classic. We have the mustard in that vinaigrette. We have the apple cider vinegar. We have apples. So great. Cabbage, which is Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna give this a quick mix. Every bite gets a little bit of that vinaigrette. Then everything else, we just jump in the pool. If you remember these beautiful pomegranate seeds, they jump in. And some toasted salted pecans that I chopped up. We also have a flat leaf Italian parsley chopped. That goes in. And some freshly shaven Parmigiano Reggiano. I just took a peeler and I just shaved beautiful long strips, not the pre-grated stuff, okay? Because every bite of these beautiful flakes is a delight. Then apples. Diced apple, just 1. This comes together so fast. So much flavor. And it just smells nutty. I don't know what to tell you. It's charred and beautiful and lovely. I cannot wait to serve it up. And I think family style seems appropriate, don't you? We'll serve that up. Oh my goodness. And it's only a pound of Brussels sprouts. But let me tell you, it serves quite a bit. What's that? Oh my goodness. There we are. I mean, that's only half. We still have another plate to go. So this side of the table gets half, that side of the table gets another half. But most importantly, how does it taste? It is just so delightful. There's so much going on here. I have the play between the sweet with the maple syrup and that heat from the cayenne, a little bit of floral quality from that coriander. When you get a pomegranate seed, a fresh pomegranate seed, it's like, wow, that sweet tartness that happens, a little bit of sweet, and then juiciness from the apple, smokiness from the charred Brussels sprouts, nutty. It's so wonderful, a little bit of butteriness and some salinity from the grated Parmesan. Guys, you have to try this salad. There is so much going on, and when you do, let me know what you think, because I think you are absolutely gonna love it.